Hello students, in last lecture we have proved necessary condition for differentiability. What was that? Necessary condition for differentiability. What is statement of necessary condition of differentiability? If f is a function which is differentiable at a point AB. If function is differentiable, then what? It is continuous at that point AB. It is first point, and second point, fx and fy both exist at point AB. That was necessary condition for differentiability. Okay. If the function is differentiable, then that function will be continuous and first order partial derivatives fx and fy exist. What about after proof of this theorem, we have seen one note. What was that note? That its converse part means what was our note? If function is not continuous, then we can say that function is not differentiable. Or if either this first order partial derivatives of the function does not exist, then that function is not differentiable. Now let us solve some examples in which we will use that note. We have to check the differentiability of function. So example, test differentiability of following functions at 0, 0. We have to check differentiability of the functions at which point? 0, 0. So first example in it. First function is f of xy is equal to xy upon x square plus y square. If xy is not equal to 0, 0 and it is 0 if xy is equal to 0, 0. Means when xy is equal to 0, 0, value of function will be 0. When xy is not equal to 0, 0, value of function is xy upon x square plus y square. Now we have to check whether this function is differentiable or not. Now we have solved this example while checking continuity of this example. Okay, you can watch it in last videos. In that we have seen that this function is not continuous because limit of f of xy as xy tends to 0, 0 does not exist. Now any function is continuous function when if limit of f of xy as xy tends to 0, 0 is equal to f of 0, 0, then we say that function f of xy is continuous at point 0, 0. Now this function is not continuous because this limit does not exist. So there is no question of equality. Okay. So this function is not continuous. Therefore we can see by note that as this function is not continuous, this function is not differentiable. So let us write down it. Limit of f of xy as xy tends to 0, 0 does not exist since along the different paths y is equal to mx, the value of the limit is different. Okay, along y is equal to mx, the value as m changes, the value of limit changes, means we get different limits, means what? Different values, so means what? Limit of this function does not exist. Therefore f is not continuous at 0, 0. And if the function is not continuous at 0, 0, we can say that function is not differentiable at 0, 0. Therefore f is not differentiable at 0, 0. Okay, that is first example to check differentiability. Second example is f of xy is equal to mod x plus y square. Now we have seen in note, if the first partial derivatives fx or fy does not exist, then we can say that function is not differentiable. So let us find out whether fx exists or not. So what will be definition of fx? So fx at which point? It is said 0, 0. So fx at 0, 0 is equal to, its definition is limit h tends to 0 f of h0 minus f of 0, 0 upon h. So that will be limit h tends to 0, f of h0 will be, put h in place of x and y is 0. So it will be mod h plus 0, that is mod h minus f of 0, 0 is 0. Okay. So 0, f of 0, 0 is mod 0 plus 0, that will be 0 upon h. That is limit h tends to 0 mod h upon h. Now this limit does not exist. We have seen it that its left hand limit is minus 1, right hand limit is plus 1. We get different limits, therefore this limit does not exist. Means what? First order partial derivative does not exist. Therefore we can say that this function is not differentiable at 0, 0. So here we can say this limit does not exist. Therefore fx at 0, 0 does not exist. Therefore we can say f is not differentiable at 0, 0. Okay. Now let us take third example. Third is f of xy is equal to x cube minus y cube upon x square plus y square if xy is not equal to 0, 0, and it is 0 if xy is equal to 0. Okay, f of 0, 0 is 0, otherwise its value is this. Now we have solved this example, means we have checked that this function is continuous. You can check previous video that we have checked this function is continuous function. We also find out the value fx at 0, 0 and fy at 0, 0. Okay, so we will use that. So we can write, I am writing here directly that here f is continuous at 0, 0 and a is equal to fx at 0, 0, its value is 1, and b is equal to fy at 0, 0, its value is minus 1. Okay, we have solved up to this. Means what? We cannot use the note. What note? Note 1, that if f is not continuous, then we can say that it is not differentiable. If its first order partial derivatives does not exist, then we can say it is not differentiable. We cannot use this because this function is continuous at 0, 0. Also fx and fy both exist. So let us assume that this function is differentiable at 0, 0. So we now check differentiability. Let us check differentiability. Suppose f is differentiable at 0, 0. If function is differentiable at 0, 0, what it means? Then there exists a neighborhood. By definition, if function is differentiable at 0, 0 means what? There exists a neighborhood n, of which point? Of 0, 0, such that at all points in that neighborhood, at all points, let us say hk belongs to n, we have, what we have, as function is differentiable at 0, 0, there exists a neighborhood n of that point 0, 0, such that for each point in that neighborhood, we have what? F of a plus h, b plus k. Okay, we have seen that equation, f of a plus h, b plus k minus f of a b is equal to h plus bk. Now here what is ab? ab is 0, 0. Therefore, we have equation f of hk minus f of 0, 0 is equal to ah plus bk plus h epsilon 1 plus k epsilon 2. Let us give it equation 1. If the function is differentiable at 0, 0, function will satisfy equation 1. Okay. Now, what is where in this equation epsilon 1 tends to 0, epsilon 2 tends to 0, as hk tends to 0, 0. Okay. Therefore, now let us put the value of f of hk. Now, what will be f of hk? It is f of xy is given. So, f of hk will be what? Replace x by h, y by k. H cube minus k cube upon h cube minus k cube upon what? H square plus k square is equal to, because f of 0, 0 is 0, is equal to, what is our a? A is 1. So, 1 into h, b is minus 1. So, minus 1 into k minus k plus h epsilon 1 plus k epsilon 2. Okay. Here, let us substitute h is equal to r cos theta and k is equal to r sin theta. That is, let us solve it by polar coordinates. So, I am writing here, let h is equal to r cos theta, k is equal to r sin theta. Okay. Then, as hk tends to 0, 0, what happened? R tends to 0. As hk tends to 0, 0, r tends to 0. Okay. So, what this equation will become now? Replace h by r cos theta, k by r sin theta. So, this equation will be r cube cos cube theta minus k cube, that is r cube sin cube theta upon h square plus k square, that is r square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta is equal to h minus, so what is our h? R cos theta minus k, that is r sin theta plus h epsilon 1. H is r cos theta epsilon 1 plus k epsilon 2. K is r sin theta epsilon 2. Now here what happened? In next step we can take r square common. Cos square theta plus sin square theta remain, that will be 1. So this implies r cube, and next what happened? In denominator there will be only r square. Here in numerator we can take r cube common, so r square will get cancelled. What remain? There will be only r cos cube theta minus r sin cube theta is equal to r cos theta minus r sin theta plus r cos theta epsilon 1 plus r sin theta epsilon 2. All over r will get cancelled. So there will be cos cube theta minus sin cube theta is equal to cos theta minus sin theta. Again let us write down it, plus cos theta epsilon 1 plus sin theta epsilon 2. But here epsilon 1 epsilon 2 tends to 0, 0, as hk tends to 0, 0. Okay. So these two terms will be 0. So we have epsilon 1 tends to 0, epsilon 2 tends to 0, as hk tends to 0, 0. Therefore what we have? Cos cube theta minus sine cube theta is equal to epsilon 1 epsilon 2 will be 0 near point 0 0, so there will be only cos theta minus sine theta. What we get? We get this equation. But is this equation true for all values of theta? No, it is not true. And when we get this equation? When we assumed equation 1. What was equation 1? If we assume that function is differentiable, then we get this equation. But this is not always true. Means what? We get contradiction. Therefore, we can say that function is not differentiable at 0 0. So here I am writing this equation does not hold for all values of theta. Therefore, equation 1 does not hold for all points hk belongs to neighborhood of 0 0. Okay. Therefore, our assumption that f is differentiable at 0 0 is wrong. Our assumption is wrong. Therefore, f is not differentiable at 0 0. Okay, therefore f is not differentiable. Means up to this you can consider that to show that function is differentiable or to check the differentiability of the function, you can check if the function is continuous at that point. If the function is not continuous, you can say it is not differentiable. Second, if the first order partial derivatives does not exist, you can say that function is not differentiable. But if the function is continuous as well as first order partial derivatives exist, then you need to check whether the equation of differentiability satisfied by the function or not. Okay. Let us solve next example. Fourth example. F of xy is equal to x raised to 4 minus y raised to 4 upon x square plus y square if xy is not equal to 0 0 and it is 0 if xy is equal to 0 0. We have to check differentiability for this function. Again, you can check that here f is continuous at 0 0. Function is continuous at 0 0. Also, a, that is fx at 0 0, its value is 0, and b, that is fy at 0 0, its value is also 0. Okay. Therefore, now we know the equation for differentiability. What is that? Its left hand side is f of a plus h b plus k minus f of ab. Here ab is 0 0, so left hand side will be f of hk minus f of 0 0. So let us consider left hand side. Let f of hk minus f of 0 0 is equal to, what will be f of hk? That will be, here f of xy is given, from that we can calculate f of hk. That will be h raised to 4 minus k raised to 4 upon h square plus k square. Okay. Now this equation we can write. What was the right hand side of equation of differentiability? That is ah plus bk plus h epsilon 1 plus k epsilon 2. So we can write it as, now a is 0, we know that. So we can write it as 0 into h plus b is 0. So we can write it as 0 into k. Okay. Plus h into epsilon 1. We want h is into epsilon 1. So we split it into two parts. Which two parts? H raised to 4 upon h square plus k square minus k raised to 4 upon h square plus k square. So we can take h common. There will be only what? H cube upon h square plus k square. Okay. plus here we can take k common. In bracket there will be only what? Minus k cube upon h square plus k square. We can write so. Okay, means what? We can write this also, which is equal to, now this 0 is a, we can write it as a into h plus sorry, this 0 is b into k, plus third is this h as it is, this part we can say that epsilon 1, function epsilon 1 of hk, plus this k as it is, this is function of hk, epsilon 2 hk. Okay, so we can write where epsilon 1 epsilon 1 hk, this function is nothing but this h cube upon h square plus k square, and epsilon 2 hk, this is nothing but this bracket, that is minus k cube upon h square plus k square. Now here what we will check, whether epsilon 1 hk tends to 0 as hk tends to 0 or not. Okay, if that will be satisfied for epsilon 1 and epsilon 2, then we can say that function is differentiable at 0. So here I am writing, using polar coordinates we can check that what we can check, limit of epsilon 1 hk as hk tends to 0 0 is equal to limit of, as hk tends to 0 0, it's what is our epsilon 1, h cube upon h square plus k square. Now in polar coordinates we substitute h by r cos theta, k by r sin theta, and as hk tends to 0 0, r tends to 0. So limit r tends to 0, r cube cos cube theta upon r square sin square theta plus, sorry, r square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta. We can take r square common. In bracket there will be cos square theta plus sin square theta. So here will be r square. So finally what we get? Limit r tends to 0, r cos cube theta. After applying limit we get 0. Means as hk tends to 0 0, limit of epsilon 1 is 0. Similarly let us check for epsilon 2, and limit of epsilon 2 of hk as hk tends to 0 0, that is limit of, what is our epsilon 2? It is minus k cube upon h square plus k square. Limit using polar coordinates, limit r tends to 0, we replace k by r sin theta. So h by r cos theta and k by r sin theta. Okay, so minus r cube sin cube theta, here again there will be r square. So finally what we get? Limit r tends to 0 minus r sin cube theta. After applying limit, here is r, so after applying r tends to 0 we get 0. Means what? Limit of epsilon 2 is 0, that is epsilon 2 tends to 0 as hk tends to 0 0. Okay, therefore we can say condition of differentiability of f at 0 0 is satisfied. Therefore condition of differentiability of f at point 0 0 is satisfied. Therefore f is differentiable at point 0 0. Okay, next example, that is fifth. What is given? Function f of xy is square root of mod of x into y. Here also we have seen that f is continuous at 0, 0. So here f is continuous at 0, 0 and a is equal to fx at 0, 0, its value is 0, and b, that is fy at 0, 0, its value is 0. You can check it, okay? We have formulas for fx at 0, 0, fy at 0, 0. You can check these two values and function is continuous, okay? So we now check differentiability. Why we are using these two conditions first? Because if here only we find that function is not continuous, then we can say it is not differentiable. Also, if we find that one of this first order partial derivative does not exist, then we can say that function is not differentiable. Okay, therefore there will be no need to use the equation for differentiability further. Okay, like in first or second example. Okay, now here we get function is continuous as well as its first order partial derivative exists. Therefore now we will go further and use the equation for differentiability. Now suppose f is differentiable at 0, 0. Suppose it is differentiable, therefore there exists a neighborhood n of point 0, 0 such that for all points hk belongs to this neighborhood, what happen? We have f of hk minus f of 0, 0 is equal to ah plus bk plus h epsilon 1 plus k epsilon 2. Let us give it equation 1, where what? Epsilon 1 tends to 0, epsilon 2 tends to 0 as hk tends to 0, 0. Now let us substitute the values in equation 1. What is f of hk? F of xy square root of mod of x into y. So f of hk will be square root of mod of h into k. What is f of 0, 0? That will be 0 is equal to, what is a? A is 0, b is 0. So it is 0 plus 0 plus h epsilon 1 plus k epsilon 2. That is what we get, square root of mod of hk is equal to h epsilon 1 plus k epsilon 2. Now let us solve it using polar coordinates. What we do in polar coordinates? We substitute h by r cos theta and k by r sin theta. So let h is equal to r cos theta, k is equal to r sin theta, and as hk tends to 0, 0, what happen? R tends to 0. Okay, so this will be square root of mod of hk, that is, this will be h is r cos theta, mod of r cos theta into r sin theta, that will be r square cos theta into sin theta, is equal to h into epsilon 1, that is, h is r cos theta epsilon 1 plus k into epsilon 2, k is r sin theta epsilon 2. This implies square root of mod of r square, we can take r outside. So here will be square root of mod of cos theta into sin theta is equal to, this part is same, okay. Now here you can take r common, r will get cancelled. So this implies square root of mod of cos theta into sin theta is equal to cos theta epsilon 1 plus sin theta epsilon 2. Now here we know that epsilon 1 tends to 0, epsilon 2 tends to 0, as what? hk tends to 0, 0. So what we get here, this epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 tends to 0, near point 0, 0. So finally we get, therefore what we get, left hand side as it is, mod of cos theta into sin theta is equal to epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 tend to 0, this part will be 0. But is this equation is true for all values of theta? No. So this equation is not true for all values of theta. Means what? The equation of differentiability, which is we have given that equation number 1, is not true for all values or all points in the neighborhood of point 0, 0. Therefore our assumption that function is differentiable at 0, 0 is wrong. Therefore function is not differentiable at 0, 0. So here we can write this equation is not true for all values of theta. Therefore, equation 1 does not hold for all hk belongs to neighborhood, and we have assumed that hold for all hk belongs to n, but this equation does not hold. Therefore, our assumption that f is differentiable at 0, 0 is wrong. Okay. Therefore, f is not differentiable at 0, 0. Okay. So up to this we have solved the examples related to necessary condition for differentiability. In next lecture we will see sufficient condition for differentiability. Okay. Thank you.